Houston Baptist, and Tulane. They began the season with a showdown in Gulf Shores, then a duel in Houston. Today, the Huskies and Green Wave finished their season at the New Orleans Invitational. CST's coverage starts right now. Live from the UNO Beach Courts in New Orleans, Louisiana, Cox Sports Television is proud to present the New Orleans Invitational. Our beach volleyball coverage continues now as the Houston Baptist Huskies take on the Tulane Green Wave. We welcome you back to the lakefront and the brand new beach volleyball courts here on the campus of the University of New Orleans. Alongside former Pro Beach referee Andrew Beyer, I'm Garrett Walvard. Andrew, these two teams have already met twice this year, Houston and Tulane. Tulane had 2 wins and looked very impressive.
Yeah, Tulane's a really good team, and they got the better HBU both times, but HBU really excited about the opportunity to see how they fare at the end of the season, what kind of progress they've made. Great measuring stick, a team they've already faced twice.
All 3 teams in the Invitational will play double headers today. Houston Baptist earlier in dual match play took care of UNO 4-1. Later tonight, make sure and tune in as Tulane and UNO strike back up their rivalry. 6 p.m. is scheduled for first tip. You know, there's been number 1 pairs that we've seen today that have been pretty talented for Houston Baptist. Let's take a look at Ariel Horton and Jessica Wooten. They got the win earlier against UNO.
Horton and Wooten had to make some really good adjustments in the second set. The Corcoran twins from UNO really battled back tough, but they took care of things. Horton had 20 kills in that match. She really came up big.
Tulane has a talented number 1 duo of Taya Urich and Kaylee McHugh. They're one of the best in the country.
Well, Urich and McHugh, all conference selections in the CCSA. Urich, of course, one of the most experienced players, but teaming up with a freshman McHugh, who also was on the CCSA all-freshman team, they really have themselves a nice pair there.
Tulane has been very prominent since starting their program 4 years ago. There's a big reason why for that. For more, let's hear from Tiara Gibson.
That's right, Garrett, and that one thing is head coach Wayne Holly. Take a look at Tulane's record over the last 4 years. It's steadily increased, including 2 back-to-back 20-win seasons. And if that's not enough on the resume, he's also the head coach for the Team USA Beach Junior National Team.
The Green Wave are looking for the season sweep. The Huskies are looking to finish 500 in their second season. You're watching beach volleyball live on the lakefront, only on CST. Is brought to you by Louisiana Cat, your statewide Caterpillar dealer in Louisiana, and by Cox Home Life. In select Cox service areas, Home Life provides a security and automation solution so you can unlock your home's full potential. Visit Cox.com for more details. We welcome you back into the campus of the University of New Orleans, their new on-campus beach volleyball courts, and a fantastic crowd of locals filling in here in the Crescent City. Beautiful day. Let's take a look at today's weather, brought to you by Cox Home Life. It's a little bit balmy, 85 degrees, humidity at 70%. Andrew, the wind's at 21 miles an hour. Again, give us an idea of how that can affect today's game, whether you have to serve into the wind or have it at your back.
Well, teams like to serve into the wind, so they don't want it at their back. We saw in the first match today between University of New Orleans and Houston Baptist that the wind played a lot of havoc with the sets. So we'll be looking at that second contact and see if the teams can do a little better job making sure their partner has a better offensive set.
Speaking of teams, let's take a look at our pairings. Urich and McHugh will take on Wooten and Horton as the number 1 seed. In pair 2, it'll be Hinojosa and Armour, who's part of the indoor program for the Huskies, against Wynn and Schertz. Fuchs and Lavoti will take on pair 3 of Mergener and Mertz. Banks and O'Brien against Chin and Strasner. Strasner, an indoor player as well, on pair 4. And rounding it all out, Lewis and Thomas for HBU against Holmes and Brianna Correa, pair 5. Take a look at the coaches for the Tulane Green Wave. Wayne Holly, now in his 4th season as the head of the beach program. Came down from Brown University, spent 2 years in the Ivy League, and Tiara touched on it. He's been part of USA beach volleyball for 6 years now. He'll be going against Cameron Sittler for HBU and Sittler earlier today saw his team win, and win pretty dominantly, Andrew, 4-1. I'm sure they're bringing a lot of momentum into this match against Tulane.
Yeah, and of course having a little bit of experience with how the wind is playing itself out on these courts today, they'll have a leg up on Tulane. Tulane only was able to see during warm-up what the wind was doing.
Sittler is the associate head coach. Head coach for the indoor team, Trent Herman, also oversees this program for Houston Baptist. Both teams shaking hands under the nets. They'll take their respective sides, and we are ready to get things underway. Tulane, 9 games over 500 on the year. Houston Baptist, with a match win today, would improve to 500 at 13 all. We take a look at the senior, Taya Urich. Tulane will serve, and McHugh gets us underway here in our second match of the day. Big overhand smash from Wooten, and HBU is on the board.
Well, when teams serve Wooten, that's usually what they see on the other end of that is a nice hard spike. Horton tends to see most of the serves.
Horton sends that one in low. McHugh able to dig it out, smashes it over, and HBU is able to save it. Kind of a miss-hit. Urich does her best to keep it alive. And just a misplacement there. I think Tulane will even it out.
Again, here's a play where the wind's playing a little bit of havoc with the ball. Team's chasing it all the way around. Sometimes that shot works.
When you look at Tulane's roster, they have 5 seniors, 2 juniors, and a pair of freshmen, but they have 4 players from the state of California, and a lot of those players played beach growing up. It's not like they came to college and have had to learn on the fly. That's led to some success for them as they take the lead 2-1.
And that's certainly one of the advantages Coach Holly has, being involved with the USA National Beach Programs. He works all summer long with athletes from around the country and has a little bit of insight as to what some of the up-and-comers look like.
Here's Urich. Tries to block at the net, gets over to her hand, and they'll be able to keep it, save it. Wooten lines it up. Urich keeps it alive. You can see the nice crowd filling in here on campus. That'll even us up.
A couple of nice hustle plays there by Tulane. Could not get either one of those digs converted into a kill.
Now Wooten, the All-Southland Conference selection as an outside hitter for their indoor team, picks up an ace.
Looks like the Huskies are working on McHugh. Plays on the right side for Tulane. Both of these teams have a little bit of a discrepancy in height between their blocker and their defender.
Both defenders listed at 5'7" as Horton and McHugh. Urich is 6'2", as you see Wooten there listed at 5'11", out of the Houston area by way of Humble, Texas. And another ace, back-to-back service aces, and they'll switch sides as we've hit 7 points combined.
Well, see, that's the good side. Urich and McHugh had the serve to start, so you saw HBU chose the good side. As soon as they got the serve, they went right to their jump serve, right into the win, 3 aces.
Wooten with a pair of aces back-to-back sends this one over the net. HBU with a strong lead to set things off. Andrew, we looked at it during the regular season. Nice attempt there, but McHugh can't bring it back in. That Tulane got the win during the regular season, but the #1 team was successful for HBU.
That's right. The second time these teams played, McHugh and Urich were actually playing the #2 pair. They've since moved up to the #1 pair, so it's actually the first time these two teams will face each other.
Service error for Wooten, and Tulane will take over. There's Kaylee McHugh. McHugh, part of the All-CCSA pairing, an all-conference selection, and was also on the all-freshman team. Very bright future for the Green Wave. You see her get the point there, went over both defenders, and caught the back row.
Well, one of the good things about receiving all the serves, you get to practice all your shots, and she's got all the shots in the book there. Using the wind to get that ball up and over the defense and keeping it in play.
This duo for Tulane went 27-8 on the year. Andrew mentioned it. They were 2 for a while. They've been number 1 for the majority of the year. It's HBU that's been moved up. And they'll pick up the point here. A great contingent of Tulane fans, including student athletes from the baseball team, the softball, from the football team, basketball. Everybody's come out to try and support their wave here on campus at UNO.
Well, I don't know if we've mentioned this yet, Garrett, but Tulane does not have a home venue this year, so they actually had 0 home matches this year. This is kind of a home match for them. First time they're playing inside the city of New Orleans all year long.
Nice to see that type of camaraderie between the different programs for the Olive. McHugh with the set. That one caught the top of the net, otherwise might have been a kill. McHugh trying to finish. Urich just gets this one over. Wooten with the set. Horton can't finish. And beautiful placement by the Green Wave. They'll take the point and a little momentum as well.
Well, being able to see the court during the long rally, you got to take it if it's there, and sure enough, too many swings without a kill, saw the open court. It's so important to get reset every time you send the ball over the net. Get your defense set up early. Communication helps with that, constantly reinforcing that with your partner.
Urich with a chance to tie it up, sends it over. That one goes off her hands and out of bounds. HBU will serve. Tulane racked up 22 match wins this spring. 13 came as dual sweeps. That's pretty impressive. The Green Wave opened the year with 4 consecutive sweeps, and they have top 15 upsets against Arizona State, and last week against South Carolina. They really had a nice showing in the CCSA tournament, came away with the win against top 15 South Carolina, and really brought a lot of momentum into the regular season tournament.
Absolutely, and there's a whole bunch of teams in the CCSA who are really stuck around each other, not the same talent level.
Little miscommunication between the 2 Tulane players. Another ace for Wooten. And the lead grows for HBU, 9-6. They'll say it's out of bounds.
Well, Wooten has really gone for it on her serve, especially from the good side there, serving into the win. 5 aces already. The 2 errors do not hurt when you score that many points off of the service.
That one just sneaks in. Found a little bit of real estate, and Horton will send the point back their way. Now HBU up 10-7.
Well, again, Tulane working on Horton. She's finding ways to go up and around the big block of Urich.
Horton was the starting libero on her high school team out of Wasahassie, Texas. She was also the defensive MVP, and the aces keep on coming for HBU.
Well, Horton gets on the column of aces there. 6 now for the team, all from the good side.
Jump serve, and they'll just put that right back. An unbelievable finish there by Tulane. She picked the right piece of property to go after, and HBU was not able to get to it.
Well, you can see Urich there was a little bit handcuffed. Couldn't decide if the ball was going to be underhand or overhand. Could only play it back.
That one just gets over. Horton rears back and keeps it in. She'll get the kill.
Well, no block that time they put up on Horton. You don't want to confuse the fact that she's a little undersized. She really jumps hard, swings hard. She's going to be able to score with power or with finesse.
McHugh sends it over, and that'll bring it back within 3. We'll take our technical timeout. When we return, Tulane will try to cut into this lead of Houston Baptist. Huskies up on the Green Wave, 12-9. We're in the middle of live coverage of the New Orleans Invitational between Houston Baptist and the Tulane Green Wave. And then at 6, the Privateers face the Green Wave. Don't miss it right here on CST, your leader in Gulf South sports. Smiles aplenty here on campus. We're glad you're with us. Houston Baptist with a lead 12-9 over Tulane. Tulane won the first 2 matches of the year at the beginning of the season and right in the middle. They are looking for the season sweep against the Huskies. We're here with the #1 pairing of Wooten and Horton for Houston Baptist, and Urich and McHugh.
Well, McHugh gets on the board there with an ace. Shows that, sorry, that was was Tia Urick back there with the ace.
Urick will serve again. Here's Wooten, makes contact, sends it into the back row. Fantastic finish by Uric.
Well, there's Uric's strength at the net. She gets the first contact, blocks it kind of straight back up, sends it into the deep court.
Recognized that both players were at the net, put it right over their heads. Uric, one of the most valuable volleyball players in all of Tulane history. Over 120 indoor matches for the volleyball program, and now over 130 with the beach program. I know Wayne Holly is lucky, blessed, all of the above to have her in the sand.
Yeah, and of those outdoor matches, over 100 wins.
Oh, wow. So very successful in her time with the Green Wave. Here's McHugh trying to finish, splits the defenders right down the middle.
Well, they work on McHugh again, but without a block, she's going to be able to find the spot. When you don't face a block, best shot always down the middle. Force them to make a decision whose ball it is.
Houston Baptist's biggest lead has been 3. Tulane has a chance to tie it here. Here's McHugh picking on Wooten.
Nice pass by Wooten.
And the finish.
Sets up real nice when you have that nice pass. They've done a really good job all day, and the coaches are happy with them all season. Their first contact's very good, gives them opportunities. Working on McHugh again.
Into the net, can't save it. There's McHugh again. Such an excellent defensive player. She's got the offense to match. McHugh led the Tulane indoor team in digs as a freshman. And when she came in, she just really liked the way that she matched up the chemistry with Uric. Just kind of an undeniable pairing, and here they are, #1 all season long.
Yeah, something that
Nice little
Coach
poke
Holly
there.
kind of saw actually in the indoor season with them. They really got along. He put them together on the beach, and what a great choice that was. See here, nice little touch shot over the block, finding the open court.
So the serve coming for Wooten. Takes a look at the signs sent behind Horton and now lines it up. And the jump serve is just long. That'll bring Tulane within 1.
Tulane's looking uphill at that score from the weaker side here. Got the wind at their back.
And that one sails on her.
So far, the team on the north side, the lake side, serving into the wind, has won each side change, have won more of the 7 points. Something you're always trying to do, especially when you're on the bad side. If you can get 4 of the 7 points, you know you're set up. Almost a great block there by Wooten. Keeps it from going over the net, but it falls just outside the line. Oh, it feels so good to get those blocks, and when they're not in, whew, you're devastated.
The set for Wooten. Blocked at the net, back inbounds. Taya Uric. Big kill at the net.
So Tulane had been working on Horton a little bit there, but after the missed block, they go to Wooten.
Nice ISO there by the cameraman up top.
They'll work on Wooten again.
Here's the set for McHugh, right side, just past the pin, and that one's knocked out of bounds by HBU.
Well, good read by McHugh. Right after getting blocked, Wooten tried to go high line with a little finesse shot. But McHugh was sitting there waiting on it. Her defensive reading is so good.
We're pretty deep into set 1, but Tulane has started to rally. They've taken their first lead, and they'll give it back on the service error. Now Wooten will serve.
Well, Tulane's finally changed the momentum. They've got 4 of the 7 points already while they're on the bad side. Tough serve there by Wooten, but McHugh handles it.
Wow, into the back row. Horton at 5'7" over the 6'2" Uric.
For HBU, it's Horton. Her turn to get a dig. Going hard and swinging, being really aggressive, knowing that she's got the opportunity to make that point and take the side switch with a 1-point lead.
Collegiate beach volleyball, we go to 21 in the first 2 sets. If it goes 3, they'll try and get to 15 first. Wooten with the bump, and it finishes on her side of the court. Great effort by both Horton and Wooten, but they can't convert. That's what you expect, right? To see these girls going all out.
Well, Urich tries to catch them off guard, and they were ready for it, but Urich really made it tough. They gave everything they had, couldn't quite get it back over the net. Now Tulane on the good side, tied up, has momentum.
Nice attempt at the dig, but HBU sees their lead up to 19-18.
Well, one thing you'll see about McHugh is there is no place she takes off. She's going to see if she can get it. There's no wait until the next play. You see Horton there, really nice shot, making it tough for her. Go back to working on McHugh.
Great dig by Horton. And this will be out of bounds off HBU, and that'll tie things up at 19 apiece.
Well, one more time, Urich is going to do it on her own. Sees that she's got a spot, puts it right there in the corner.
Unbelievable court sense. She wasn't even looking at that part of the court. And now Tulane, if they can run off 2 points in a row, will come away with the first set victory. This duo of Urich and McHugh have played 35 matches this year and won 27 of them. So losing is foreign to them. They're a very successful duo. We'll see if they can close things out here, tied up at 19 apiece. Wooten's really going to have to put some thunder into that one, and does. Gets it across the net. Here's the set for McHugh. Got a piece of the net, and they keep it alive. Wooten. She'll go soft instead of power and comes away with the point. Now there's a chance for the Huskies to win set one.
Well, that's the advantage when you bring power all the time. Other teams dug in on defense. Easy for Jessica to just drop that one in right there short.
Wooten going to go flat-footed? No. Little hop, skip, and a jump serve coming just over the net. And she's got an ace to win it. Set one goes to Houston Baptist. 21-19.
A little conservative. Instead of going with the top spin, she went with a jump floater both times from the bad side after an error. And boy, she took care of it.
Well, you can see the excitement for Houston Baptist up one set on Tulane. We'll be back for more. You're watching CST. We take a look at your set one stats brought to you by Louisiana Cat.
Well, pretty even there on the kills, obviously, but better attack percentage you see there for the Green Wave. A little bit more efficient, able to squeeze things out right at the end.
The number one pairing for both these teams in set two is underway. Great day so far at the New Orleans Invitational, hosted by the University of New Orleans. Urich and McHugh, the heavy favorites, fell 21-19. They'll pick up the first point here in set two.
Urich there, nice shot, cross court, using all the court there.
Houston Baptist, for all of their other sports, is a member of the Southland Conference. Current schools in the Southland that have beach volleyball include Central Arkansas, UNO, Texas A&M Corpus Christi. As soon as the league can get 6 or 7 teams to sponsor it, it looks like the Southland Conference will have an official beach volleyball league. Right now, HBU is an independent, or that's part of the reason they haven't joined the CCSA. A bunch of other Gulf South teams are in that one. But that could certainly be a boon for the Southwest Conference in years to come if they could have their own league. It looks like Abilene Christian has announced they'll start a team in 2018.
We got 4 conferences already with a championship, and once you have a championship for 3 years, your conference is going to get an automatic bid into the NCAA championship. So as the sport develops throughout the country over the next couple of years, you're even going to see how the NCAA chooses its postseason teams change.
Huskies in the Green Wave are tied up 2 apiece. There's Cameron Sittler, associate head coach of Houston Baptist. His team won earlier today 4-1 in the dual match against the Privateers. McHugh with the set. It'll come back to her. Tries to take on Wooten, but she's clean with it. Boy, there's a big overhand kill by Wooten. Great dig by McHugh. Pretty long rally here in the beach. blocked at the net off the hands of Urich. And the point goes to the Huskies.
Well, good work there. Horton and Wooten working hard on both sides of the court. Wooten has to make a dig on the right, but asks for the set to be behind her. Her partner obliges, and she's able to use the block. Hit it out of bounds off of the hands of Urich.
Nice high shot. That gives her partner time to get up and get reset. Here's Wooten with the overhand and goes right by Urich, who was moving to her right.
Well, we've seen that shot so many times from Horton, who plays on the right side, but Wooten got the dig that time in transition, was on that side of the court, shows off her line shot. They're doing really well.
HBU's got them doubled up 4-2, but there's a service error by Horton. And now the two teams will switch sides. Tulane head coach Wayne Holly really has this team poised for postseason success in the years to come, and he has created a well-respected program in New Orleans. The last 6 years working with Team USA, he told us a funny story. 6 years ago, he wrote to them, snail mail, and said, "Can I join you out in Florida and just work, learn from you guys?" They said, "Come on." 6 years later, he is the head coach of the junior national beach team and one of the heads of the talent acquisition for the overall program.
You got to put in your time. Volunteer first, assist second, head coach third. He's on his way.
And it goes without saying, he sees the best young beach players in the country. I'm sure he's going to be able to get some of them to come to Tulane and really elevate this program. Here's Wooten, and just mishits it. This one sails long. Tulane with a little three-point rally. They've taken the lead.
Yeah, teams looking to feel each other out here in the second set. Usually see that in the first, but both teams came out ready to play in the first set. Trying to regroup here. Tulane especially down a set.
And McHugh lifted that one.
I think they called Urich in the net there, maybe.
So Wooten will serve as we've been tied back up 5 apiece. Look at that, 5 aces in the first set for Wooten. And of course, a service error follows that.
It's almost unheard of to have 5 in a match, but 5 in a set. She was really on fire there.
An overcast, windy day in the Crescent City. The sun kind of playing behind the clouds, and that should give these players a little more energy in their reserves as we go through these matches.
Well, Tulane's working on Wooten a little bit more than we've seen teams in the past. Easy for her to get in a rhythm. So she's showing off her power and she's showing off her shots. In rhythm, let's see if they mix it up. On the other side, HBU's continuing to work on Kaylee McHugh.
Power on power, and Urich wins it. Block at the net.
You see, nice set, but really high, so it gives Urich a lot of time to set her block, see where the attack is coming from, and get in front of it.
Tulane has 6 different players that are credited with 20 or more victories. Of course, Taya Urich leads them with 27. But to have so much success across your top 5 pairs is pretty impressive. We're tied up at 7 apiece, and the teams will switch sides.
We're even through the first 2 side changes, 2 4-3 sides. We're tied at 7.
I don't know if the number 1 duo for Tulane is a little surprised at how well HBU is playing them. But they're down a set, and HBU shows no signs of stopping with Horton and Wooten playing strong here in set 2. McHugh looking for the finish. Can't get it over Wooten.
Wooten didn't see the court that time, back to the net, was trying to do something, make it a little tougher on him. Probably should have just sent it high, set up their defense. We've seen Tulane do that. It's a really good tactic outdoors. You would never want to do that indoors, give the other team more time for their offense. But in beach volleyball, you need to set up your defense. Sometimes that's much more important. We got a full complement of officials on our number 1 court here, fixing the lines there.
Another service error, this time by Urich. Houston Baptist has 3 graduate transfer students. They came in last September, and none of these 3 players had ever competed in beach volleyball at the college level. Lavotai, Tiffany Thomas, and Morgan McDaniel all came from different programs and have contributed to the Huskies this year. You know, they've really had to learn a lot in 6 or 7 months, but they're part of this team now. It's an extra bonus for their college experience.
Well, it's really
it's nice to have that kind of leading.
Yeah, it's exciting to see it develop like that as a team sport. They're so used to, hey, I need to find a partner for this tournament. Let me go play. But now you've got the whole team there.
Coach made a great point. Sittler said, you know, they've been at this 6 or 7 months. They're competing against kids that have been doing it for 3 or 4 years, and they're holding their own. Tulane, and their lead climbs to 2.
You see Horton, just a little error there, but Horton, Wooten, a couple of the players that Coach Herman and Coach Sitwell have over there at HBU, a lot of setters, a lot of kids with a lot of indoor experience making decisions, and decision-making is so important on the beach.
Here's the freshman, Kaylee McHugh, playing at the #1 pairing, and she'll come away with the ace. Got to be the shades.
You see her go cross court, using the wind, cutting that ball right down in front of Horton, who's going wide in service. He'd try to defend against that.
Wooten saves it across. Urich thought she was going to set it. No, she'll send it into the back court. McHugh so powerful with that 5'7" frame. And a nice job of putting that one into empty space by Jessica Wooten.
Well, Horton and Wooten are really showing off their communication and their experience playing together there. Several times now we've seen Wooten want that ball back on the left when she dug it on the right, and it really opens up the court across the net from them as the defense has to adjust mid-play to find that attack from the other side.
Jessica's overcome some injuries during her career, but she has proven over the last 2 seasons she is an elite athlete in the sand. And a big part of their indoor success as well under Coach Trent Herman.
And there she is with a great ace cross court to send them into the technical timeout with the lead.
We will step aside with Tulane up top just by 1, 11-10. HBU will have it when we return here on Cox Sports Television. We welcome you back into the UNO Invitational. The AVCA Top 10 undefeated Southern Cal atop the rankings. You see Pepperdine, Florida State, Long Beach State, and then #7 LSU, the only team from Louisiana ranked in the top 10. Tulane receiving votes. This is a top 15 poll for most of the year. They're number 18 in the country right now after receiving votes. They've got 22 wins on the season, one of the biggest amounts in the country.
We come out there and Wooten with another ace right out the timeout. She's got 7 in the match.
Here's Wooten with the serve into the net. Our sideline reporter Tiara Gibson was listening in on the HBU huddle. Tiara, what did you hear?
Well, guys, Coach Cam was just talking about serving strategy and hitting with confidence. He was telling Wooten that she needs to hit with a nice high snap and make the defenders run around. He told her to keep doing what you do when it comes to serving, and he said, we are in the driver's seat.
I like that mindset. Andrew, what do you think about HBU already has the first set win in their back pocket? Can they gamble a little bit here? Can they play a non-uniform way and maybe try and sneak out some points?
Well, really, they're going to do what they always do because they do play aggressive. So it's not a gamble to them. They know that's the way to attack the other team to get their points and help get the other team off guard. When you're playing the #1 pair, you can't expect the other team to give away anything. So you've got to go after them, and that's something that has been a real strength of theirs all year.
Houston Baptist cuts into the lead, now 13-12, Tulane on top. The Green Wave trying to equalize the sets. Urich kind of sets this one behind McHugh, and she can't get it over. That'll tie our set up.
Pass a little bit off to the left. Some teams want that set to go back over in front of the attacker, and some teams want to bring the whole play right into the middle. On windy days like this, really, really important to kind of keep the ball small. Keep the distance between you and your partner very short, minimize errors.
Horton was set up, but hits it into the front of the net. Horton had early exposure to beach volleyball back in high school, qualified for the Sand Nationals all 4 years with her club team. Just a miss hit here, can't get it over the tape. So Tulane will serve with a 1-point lead. Now the set for Wooten. Goes into space and finds some empty real estate.
That time McHugh a little too early into the angle. Wide open court for Wooten to hit into. You'll see McHugh's going to dig the high line shot, but over there a little too early, gives it away.
So Wooten already with more than a handful of aces today with her little hop serve. Juric puts it high for McHugh, and she finds the empty real estate. Unbelievable play by McHugh yet again. Such good elevation in that 5-7 frame.
Oh, she really has a great cut shot, and she's always contacting the ball at the height of her jump. She waits, explodes, turns the thumb up, wraps the hand around the ball, directs it right where she
I don't know
wants
how
it.
you can defend that. I mean, that ball looks like it's going for the back row, and instead it slices over to the left. Here's a shot past the back line, and Houston Baptist sees it tied up 15-all. Here's Horton, the nice high arcing serve. McHugh has it in. An emphatic in by the line judge, and Tulane retakes the lead.
The chalk flies when it hits the line out in the beach.
McHugh recently named to the all-conference team, the all-freshman team as well. They are 5-3 as the #1 pair.
Attack error there for Horton. Let's see how she responds after a mistake. One of the big things that coach wanted to see in this last match, the decision-making, responding to challenges and making adjustments. They're taking a timeout, see what they can do.
We kick off our summer coverage of minor league baseball with the Pensacola Blue Wahoos on Saturday, June 3rd. Tune in for first pitch at 6:30 as they host the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. The Wahoos make 3 more appearances with games against the Montgomery Biscuits, Biloxi Shuckers, and Mobile Bay Bears. All games are live. Visit coxsportstv.com for more information. Went to a Biscuits game 20 years ago with my pops. I believe that's Hank Aaron Stadium.
What do you think about the baby cakes?
I think it's incredible. They took a gamble, and I think it's a good one. I think it's revitalized minor league baseball in the Crescent City, and I think they're going to be successful in years to come. I love going down to games at the Shrine on Airline, whether it's LSU, Tulane, whoever's playing there, whether it's the Wally Pontiff Classic. It's just a great place to take in a game. Doesn't hurt that they sell adult beverages either.
It's a nice venue. I sure do enjoy some minor league baseball there. The baby cakes, gotta love the name, maybe. They're talking about it.
Gibson has switched sides of the court for us. Tiara, what did you hear in the Tulane huddle?
Well, unfortunately, because the music was so loud, I wasn't able to hear everything. It's a little bit of a party over here. But Coach did say that obviously they've had some serve-receive struggles, but their main priority right now is to get HBU off of the net. First priority, he said, is to have a great serve.
Well,
Tulane.
good serve there. Transitions the dig that she makes into another line shot. McHugh showing off her skill set, knows the size of the court. And of course, this court, we haven't mentioned all day, but is a little bit smaller than the indoor court. Only 8 meters squared instead of 9.
Tulane 3 points away from equalizing the sets and a service error. Both teams have been bit by that today. Part of the game. And Wooten, the 5'11 senior, will line up to serve now for Houston Baptist.
They went away from McHugh there. We're going to serve Juric. Not sure about that. Not sure about that tactic there. Let's see if that comes back to haunt them.
You see Wooten and Horton. Wooten was a senior who just finished her eligibility with the indoor team. She is a redshirt junior in beach, so she can come back next year. And when you take a look, you know, if you're able to keep Horton, who I believe is a sophomore, paired with her, she is a sophomore, you've got a great #1 duo for 2018 as well. Certainly a lot of experience and a lot of wins this season.
dig for McHugh, but it goes over. Chance for Wooten here.
Great
McHugh
save
picks
by
up that
McHugh.
cut. Here we go, free ball. Going to set up their defense.
Big hit for Urich. Yeah, she'll come down with the hammer, and a great dig out by Horton. Again, McHugh. This one's just mishit by Urich, but McHugh with a fantastic dig to keep that one alive, and she brought it back in the area of her partner. That was a nice save.
Absolutely. Doesn't do you any good if all you do is work and can't get it back to your partner. Great play by all 4 of these young ladies here.
Game draws a little bit closer. Houston Baptist serving, down by 2. Tulane just 2 points away from the win. This one sails on McHugh. And now a 1-point game. Can Houston Baptist rally here and sweep the #1 team from Tulane? They've got a shot.
Got to make the most of these last few points over here on the good side. Deep serve into the wind, pushes McHugh back.
Wooten will do all she can just to get it back over. The setup for Urich. Goes between both players and comes away with the point.
We've seen Urich and McHugh come right out the middle when they are in transition, don't have a block in front of them. That's a good play. Of course, Horton made an incredible dig last time that she really ripped it.
McHugh will settle up for the set point. HBU trying to hang on. This one tipped, and Urich does all she can just to get it back over. HBU catches a piece of the line and brings it back within 1.
Little late decision there by Urich whether she was going to block or not. You saw that. Open court, easy to find. Now Wooten's going to be a little more conservative with the game on the line.
Off the net, nice save by Urich. McHugh can't get it to roll over the tape. We're tied up at 20 apiece.
Well, I tell you what, with the wind coming that way, you can see you've got to really push it in there. Just hanging up right there. Again, you're going to see Wooten be a little bit more conservative here.
HBU has combined for 8 aces so far. They're trying to take the lead after Tulane got it in the mid-round. Wooten just puts it across, and they'll reset their defense. This one's off, and HBU takes the lead.
McHugh's cut shot let her down that time.
Wayne Holly will call a timeout and bring the green wave over as match point for HBU is upon us. Unbelievable. This is a great matchup between 2 great #1 pairings, but I think going in, Tulane really had all the press clippings. If HBU comes away with a win here, that's certainly a shot in the arm for their program.
Yeah, and we talked about how good they've come throughout the year and how much better they've improved, especially playing those teams that have played 2 or 3 years already. So we've known that this team is competitive and that they have the ability. Absolutely putting on a show here for the Husky fans.
In the first season matchup between these 2 schools, I believe Tulane got the sweep. And then in the second matchup, HBU was only able to manage 1 victory, but that was at the top court.
Yeah, absolutely. As we said earlier, McHugh and Urich were playing on the #2 pairing for Tulane at the time. They won their match at the #2, but Horton and Wooten, they won the #1 pairing. So it's the first time these 2 get to face off against each other. Really great way to end the season.
If Houston Baptist could come away with a dual match victory, they would be 500 on the year at 13 all in just their 2nd season ever of competition. Tulane with a victory would finish 10 games over 500. That's pretty impressive for Wayne Holly's club. So both teams wanting a much-needed match victory, and Tulane's going to have to hold on here. They're going to have to break a serve. They're going to have to get a little momentum. And again, you've got to win by 2. It'll be match point for HBU and Wooten, who is serving.
Well, let's see. We know that McHugh should be expecting the serve. She just missed her favorite shot, the cut shot.
Off the back line, that'll bring us even at 21.
Wow. I don't think that could have been more than an inch out of bounds there. Really good call by the linesman who was on it. Oh, but boy, not much room there.
Big smile on the face of Wooten. Let's take a closer look. Just off and past the back line. Good call by the official. So now both teams knotted up again at 21. Tulane serving to keep it alive, and a smart play by Horton. Doesn't put a paw on it, and it goes long.
Well, a little deja vu, what just happened from the last play, different team.
Here's match point number 2 for the Huskies.
Working on McHugh.
Blocked at the net, McHugh keeps it alive, huge play. The dig out by Horton, she'll set up Wooten. Wooten goes right at McHugh. Great save by Wooten, but Tulane's got too much power.
Well, there's McHugh from the left, gets to pick one up and goes down the line there.
The Green Wave fans and the student athletes from the Tulane Athletic Department that have come to watch this game ready to explode with every single point that they win. HBU trying to show some poise here. Wooten with a big overhand. Comes back across on the dig by McHugh. Now Urich is set. It's all she can do to get it across.
Open net.
They go after Horton. Wooten's got it. Back to Horton, back row. It hit the line and it's in.
What a great set by Jessica Wooten, diving to save that dig by her partner. Puts it up there as if it was a perfect pass. She's got no problem setting it on a plate for her partner.
The sophomore has it just catch a piece of the back line. And now match point again for Houston Baptist, looking for the upset. This one's out. Wooten had a chance.
It's twice Wooten went away from McHugh, tried to serve Urich, and missed them both. I said that might come back to haunt him. I didn't think it'd haunt him twice.
Taya Urich with the serve, more than 100 beach victories to her credit. They'll go back to McHugh. And Urich will win the point. It looked like she was going to block it, stuff it right into the face of Horton. Instead, it goes into the net.
Well, Wooten made a really great cut shot to start off that whole sequence, but McHugh picked up the ball, converted.
Now Tulane with their second chance at a set point to try and extend us into the third.
They work on Horton, who has a little bit of trouble with it. Makes it tough.
All-out dive by McHugh. She'll try and finish it, and she does. High fives all around. Tulane will win the set 25-23. Big stop by McHugh. She'll get up out of the sand and get the finish. We're going to game 3 when we return here on Cox Sports Television. Tulane and Houston Baptist tied up at 1 set apiece. Here's a look at the Louisiana Cats stats. These are through 2 sets.
Well, we see they're pretty even there except for the aces, where the Huskies were really off to a great start. Had 7 aces in the first set, helped them get out to that first set win, but Tulane came back, tied it up. We're going to see our first third set action on court number 1 today.
Andrew, do we see anything different in set 3 other than it's the first to 15? Can you be a little more aggressive? Is this where we see nerves kind of come into play?
I think with both these teams, actually, that's not going to be the case. These teams have been playing together all year long, so they know their partners, they communicate well. They look forward to matches like this. So I think, if anything, we might see the beginning of the third set start off with a little bit more intensity than we've seen all match. Again, if it gets close, 10-10, 11-11 at the end, you're going to see them be a little conservative.
Tulane certainly has a sizable cheering advantage, and if the Green Wave can get on a run, HBU is going to hear it. Wooten with a big overhand. McHugh's got to go out of bounds just to save that one. Back over the net. Horton with the finish. Pokes it over.
Well, she had nobody blocking. I thought she was going to really put that one away, but went for the finesse shot, took care of it. They get on the board first, again, from the bad side. So they took the serve. Tulane took the good side as their choice after the coin toss. It didn't convert the first point, so big advantage HBU. Dig for Horton.
And just a miss hit that goes across the court and out of bounds.
Yeah, couldn't really make an approach after she made that dig. So kind of flat-footed, didn't have much of an approach. Hoping for a good shot. Just sent it a little wide there.
Watch out. Right into your living room. Here's McHugh with the serve to get us back underway in set 3. This one came out of the net. Horton gets it across. Tulane can't save that one. And Urich goes sprawling into the sidelines.
Well, McHugh came back with that cross-court serve that worked for her well in the second set, but Horton was on at that time. Finished off the play to get the ball back.
And I like the officials giving her a little time to wash out her mouth.
Back in the old days, they used to have sand timeouts teams were given. You had a full timeout and a sand timeout, like a little 20-second extra timeout, but they just took that out of the game with the technical timeout and the side changes. So anytime you get too much sand in your mouth, your ears, your eyes, just get it out real quick. We'll get back to play.
Wooten with the serve. Urich at Wooten. Jessica off the hands of McHugh. Big kill over the top by the senior.
Well, one more time, you saw that Wooten tried to work on McHugh, and that worked out all right. They got a dig out of it. She's not in her rhythm, so we were able to get that dig real quick. Big swing there for the point.
McHugh not quite able to body up on that one. Wooten almost has the second ace of the game. Urich, all she could do to get it over. Here's a shot off the top of the net and a big smile for Wooten. They're on a 3-0 run and have taken a lead 4-1 over the Green Wave.
The tape is your friend, and it smiles along with you.
And then other times, it leaves you questioning your ability.
Well, great job by the Huskies. 4-1, they win the bad side.
Urich will take this one herself. At the net. And they'll give that point to Tulane, who cuts it within 1.
Yeah, we saw Horton, a little tight set.
Make
Really
it
trapped her partner. Wooten couldn't stay out of the net there to finish the play.
Good communication between HBU's players, but it still ends up in a point for Tulane. Urich came up, provided some pressure, and they weren't able to take advantage.
Yeah, Wooten made a good call, asked for her partner to hit down the line, which is the open shot, but she went for the power, which of course is in the angle. Left it on her side of the net.
Taya Urich led the Tulane indoor team in kills 3 out of her 4 seasons. Also paced them in digs. Can't get her hand on that one. She was also second in service aces. I think that really talks and explains how well her game has transitioned into the sand.
Well, good all-around players. Yeah,
absolutely.
Do a good job of that. So she played as a swing hitter for the indoor team. All-conference selection indoors as well.
And you can kind of also speak, she played international coming out of Croatia. I mean, this is somebody who was exposed to beach early on.
Great shot there by the little McHugh. Yeah, absolutely. Urich for Croatia has played in several FIVB international tournaments against some of the best players from other countries. It's really a lot easier for some of those European teams to do that with a little more tight-knit community there.
Actually, Coach Hawley for Tulane first met her during a tournament where Team USA played in Croatia. He really likes how Urich, well, he likes to kid her a little bit, how the Americans won that match, but he's certainly been impressed with her play over the last 4 years.
Well, there you see maybe the one weakness in her game is getting beat short. She's not as good as a deep court defender as she is a blocker and attacker. At times she chooses to pull off. Really nice shot there by HBU to put it in front of her.
So the Huskies take a 2-point lead, 6-4 here in set 3. And this is the tiebreaker. First to 15 comes away with the victory. Some members of both teams now lining the sidelines, trying to provide that emotional support. They can say something. The coaches are supposed to keep their lips zipped.
That's right. No coaching during the play.
McHugh sets Urich. Off the hands of Horton. Big save by Wooten. Our rally continues. McHugh sends it long.
Well, decision making there by Tulane. You do a little bit better job. That ball came over quick, and HBU was not set on their defense. They took too much time, and to boot, made the error.
Tulane trailing by 3 now. Wooten serves off the pin. It goes inbounds, but off the pin. That'll be Tulane ball. You know, despite having just 11 healthy players right now, Tulane finds itself receiving votes in the latest AVCA coaches poll. They're number 18 in the country. The number 1 team and maybe a repeat national champion could be Southern Cal. They won last year's championship. They are undefeated and have been number 1 for the majority of the season.
Nothing more to say about that. The record speaks for itself. And their top pairing, in fact, might be the second best U.S. women's team right now.
Whoa.
And they're still college kids. You know, I think we're going to see them. We're going to see them in Rio next month in May. Those kids are going to graduate and go down and represent Team USA.
Well, the top 8 teams in the country will head to Gulf Shores, Alabama. The pairing show is this Sunday afternoon. The LSU Tigers, who are number 7 in the country, will have a watch party on campus at the gymnastics indoor facility with the big screen they have there. They will see if they have made the top 8 of the tournament or not.
Well, there's an ace for Urich. Tie things up at 7.
The Green Wave have made a nice rally here. Urich will serve. Horton will finish it up. Big overhand, and it's long.
Horton does a good job converting that one. She didn't make a great pass, especially when you see some of those off-speed serves. The serves are getting a little bit more conservative. Sometimes that off-speed catches you by surprise. Not a great pass, but great hustle by her partner to give her something she can hit, and Horton puts it away.
So Tulane will reset. They've taken the lead. And this one will be out of bounds off Urich, a service error.
McHugh going to try to go from the left side there. Able to push it through the block of Wooten.
Our Tiara Gibson was a 2-year letter winner for Fran Flory in the LSU volleyball program. Tiara, I'm interested to see here in the 3rd set. You've played in plenty of these over your 4-year career. Any advantages to be had in a 3rd set? I know Tulane's got a nice cheering section. I think a mic difficulty right now. Now we might be able to get her on.
The cheering section has a lot to do with it, but I think the fact that both teams are remaining quite smiley, obviously spirits are high, and the timeouts, the coaches are definitely more optimistic than I have heard in the past, and that has a lot to do with how the team plays.
Well, Tulane with a 10-8 lead over Houston Baptist. The Huskies went out to an early lead. They were up by as many as 3, but now Tulane has taken the lead, and it looks like they're trying to close it out. They're 5 points away. This copyrighted telecast of the New Orleans Invitational may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of Cox Sports Television. There's Wayne Holly trying to close it out, and Cameron Sittler working with his number 1 pair of Wooten and Horton. Would like to see them get back into this match and extend it a little bit. This would be a great opportunity for the Huskies. They can come away with a win on the top court.
Today's format, we have 3 teams in the Invitational. So this is Tulane's first match today, but Houston Baptist already played. Maybe a little bit of fatigue setting in here for Wooten and Horton, who are into the 3rd set now. But I guarantee you, they come out of this timeout, they're going to be focused on the first contact.
I think that's very good analysis, and it's true. Let's see if Houston Baptist can dig deep here, come back, and try and extend the green wave. Got to really like the matchup of McHugh and Urich for Tulane. So successful all season long. McHugh will serve here against Horton and Wooten. True freshman, all-conference selection, lets it fly after the timeout.
Continue to work on Horton.
Whistle blows. Point for Houston Baptist.
Urich was in the net. Looked like McHugh had a read on that cut shot too, was sitting over there early.
And you can take us through this. This is the wrong point in the match to get popped for a penalty.
Yeah, just a little margin there.
A service error. Tulane's lead back to 2. And both teams will switch sides of the court.
So at this point in the match, when the teams want to be a little bit more conservative with their serving game, they can't play it safe though. They still have to be aggressive and attack. They just might not be going for their #1 A serve. I tell you what, you're going to see their A game when it comes to the third contact. So a little bit conservative on the serve right now, and really go get it on the attack. Let's see what Wooten does.
Off the hands of McHugh, big overhand by Wooten, and she gets the kill to draw it to 1.
As I said, focused on the pass coming out, took care of it. No problem for Horton to give her something she can do anything she wants with. Swings around the block.
Tulane is 4 points away. The Huskies are trying to rally. We mentioned the injuries that Tulane suffered during the year. That hurt them in conference play. Their record was 6-12 in the CCSA, but despite that, the players that they're recruiting, the ones they've got coming back next year, you got to like their opportunities for the next couple of years under Wayne Holly.
I don't think I've said this very often, but they're much better than their record. You don't say that about a team that's 22 wins on the season, but much better than their record. They were competitive in all those matches, and 12 of their 13 losses were in conference. They really have a lot of competition there. Helps them get better.
HBU trying to even it up. And they do, into the back corner.
Chance for a point for Horton, making the dig. She comes up with it.
Here's a very nice set by Wooten. Horton rears back, puts it into the back corner. You see the smile on the face of Wooten. And we can follow the track of the ball. McHugh going to her right, no chance. McHugh will finish off this, though, off the hands of Wooten.
Nice shot down the middle again with no block up. McHugh can hit it short, long. She can hit the sidelines, and she can bring it right down the middle. Let's see if she brings it cross court on that serve. Trying to put a little side spin on that ball, so work both the wind driving it down and a little bit of side spin driving across, but a little bit too much, drives it wide.
We're tied up at 12 apiece. Houston Baptist serving.
They're working on Urich.
Looks like HBU's gotten a second wind. This one finishes a little bit short of the net. Took the lead momentarily, and a point will go to Tulane. Both teams will switch sides. You've got the players who have finished their matches and are now standing on the sideline cheering each other on. Horton and Wooten trying to rally here, and Tulane looking to close it out. They're 2 points away from winning in 3 sets.
Money time for both teams. Urich will be serving with the wind at her back.
Service error for the senior. And you mentioned it, how much wind comes into play. Right there, the ball sailed on her.
You got to win by 2. It's all tied up at 13. Now's the time. Forget everything. Go win the match. Let's see if Horton brings a little bit of heat with her jump serve. No, she's just going to go with the jump floater, but hard for McHugh to handle.
That'll give time for Urich to get back up. Play at the net. Big kill attempt by Wooten, and it gets over. This ball falls, and Tulane is a point away.
Great work there by Urich to stay involved at the net. And McHugh balancing the court, really staying deep to make sure nobody came over on 1 or 2 contacts. Urich was able to see that play develop the whole way and put the clamp on.
Here's McHugh into the hands of Horton. Horton just inside the line, tied back up at 14 apiece.
I love to see these kids making plays to extend the match. Both teams are scoring their points. Really clean play. Aggressive, good decisions. You can see why both of these teams are the #1 pair for both these schools.
Both teams have to be careful they don't get caught holding their breath. Very tense moments here as both teams trying to close each other out.
Dig for Horton.
That one's off the pin. It'll be out of bounds off Tulane.
Well, Urich can't control that shot down the line. Horton with another kill. Gives HBU another match point, or their first.
That one got a piece of the antenna. Match point for the Huskies.
Working on McHugh again.
Good poise by the freshman, McHugh. Into the corner, and Houston Baptist has upset the Tulane Green Wave #1 pair.
Ariel Horton with one of her favorite shots, that jumbo shrimp, deep line over the line blocker. Whoop, curled it right in there for the match winner. Great job by the Huskies.
Congratulations to Houston Baptist and their associate head coach, Cameron Sittler. Great performance by Taya Urich and McHugh. In 3 sets, it goes to the Huskies on CST. The New Orleans Invitational on Cox Sports Television is brought to you by Louisiana Cat, your statewide Caterpillar dealer in Louisiana, and by Cox Home Life. In select Cox service areas, Home Life provides a security and automation solution so you can unlock your home's full potential. Visit Cox.com for more details. We take a look at your scores from today's dual match between Houston Baptist and the Tulane Green Wave. Tulane a winner, 4-1. Only the top court goes to the Huskies. You see Wooten, Horton, Urich, and McHugh. That one went 3. The only other that went 3 was on court 5. Lewis and Thomas against Holmes and Correa, and they came away with the victory. Tulane very impressive today in this showing on the home court for the University of New Orleans. Victorious coach today is Wayne Hawley of Tulane, and he is with our Tiara Gibson right now.
Coach, obviously you had a tough loss here in the ones. What did your squad learn from this match?
Well, most importantly, we won the duel, and that's what we care about because it's a team sport. So we're not going to become overly focused on losing 1 flight when we won 4. So that's the big lesson. But in this particular match, great match. I thought Houston Baptist played exceptionally well. They played us tough last time we played, so we knew it would be a good battle. And, I would credit them for making a few more plays than us in this sport at this level. Generally, at the higher flights, one team's going to make a few more plays than the other. You don't generally see blowouts. I thought that Houston Baptist served a little bit better than we did, and we had a little difficulty kind of running our strategy. We wanted to run the back set a little bit more. We weren't able to do it, but partly that's because we were served very tough.
Did the wind have anything to do? I know obviously you're a local team, so you're used to this kind of. Did it have anything to do with the strategy?
Oh gosh, yeah, the wind was everything. Yeah, we would play a different match completely without the wind. So fortunately for us, where we train, it's windy, so we don't mind the conditions. But the variations that the wind provides, play to play, let alone set to set, create a great challenge, and sometimes it's a bigger challenge than even our opponent.
All right. Well, congratulations on the match win. Garrett, guys, back to you.
Tiara, thank you very much. Let's take a look at our match stats, the cumulative stats brought to you by Louisiana Cat.
Yeah, you see, it looked like HBU had a little bit of a statistical advantage there in the match. And both teams played really well. Came down to a 14-14 third set. Little tiebreaker, anybody's game. Right there, both teams were making plays, and Tulane certainly did to win the match there.
Andrew, one final thought on our performance today. Tulane with the 4-1 victory in the dual match, but I thought HBU really made some ground. They looked good.
Yeah, and I mean, we talked about it all broadcast. This is a team that has really improved all season, and for what they've done compared to some of the other schools on the beach volleyball scene, they are in a great, great spot. And we know with their conference possibly adding beach volleyball in the next year or two, those guys have the future right there in front of them.
Congratulations to Jessica Wooten and Ariel Horton. The senior and the sophomore come away with a win on the